The Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro have been out for about 3 months now. And one of the biggest things I'll probably say is these devices were launched as a pair and they're made to work great together, as by design they're Samsung devices, and Samsung is providing us a unique experience when it comes down to the Buds 3 Pro. Functional options that we only get within Samsung devices running the latest One UI version. Of course, the Z Fold 6 came out with that version of software, so therefore we're going to talk about the experience and my favorite features of the Buds 3 Pro and the Z Fold 6 after 3 months. This is TK, and let's go ahead and check out the Z Fold 6 and the Buds 3 Pro after that duration. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so they're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. So in front of us we have the box for both of them. I do want to say thank you very much to Samsung for sending out this unit for me to be able to check out. The Buds 3 Pro, I got them originally at the hands-on experience back in New York, and one of the biggest things I'll probably say is, again, these devices were launched together and they work great together. Now, some of the features I'm going to share with you guys are not going to be unique to the Z Fold 6. Any Samsung device running the latest version of One UI 6.1.1 will be able to get some of those benefits as well. Of course, without wasting too much time, we have the Buds 3 Pro here on the left. I got the silver color one, and these are the new designs that a lot of people started referencing, basically them looking kind of like AirPods and so on, but we're going to talk about some of the features in here that make them stand out so much more. On top of the fact that we actually have lighting effects on them. On the right side, we have the Galaxy Z Fold 6. This is a beautiful color. Again, one of the biggest benefits that we have now is over last year, a lighter, slightly thinner design, but a slightly bigger display as well. So we definitely have a better display experience on the front, the same experience that we come to love on the inside display, and of course customizations within the entire ecosystem. We're going to talk about some of my favorite features, or actually my favorite features after using these guys for some time. Before I go too far, I do want to mention both of these devices do not come with a charger in the box, and the cable that we get in here is a USB-C to C cable. One comes within each box. The only difference, of course, on the Buds 3 Pro is we have additional ear tips to provide us the best fit. First and foremost, I've been using it with the Samsung Galaxy Wear app. So basically, they do have their own Wear app. Let's go ahead and open it up. We'll give it a second to connect. And one of the biggest things that we definitely appreciate is the ability of actually seeing not only the battery level on the actual buds, but the actual case itself. You'll notice that it's about 48%. And I was using them actually on my recent trip to New York, which is absolutely fantastic. But one of my favorite features that we get here is the ability of getting a higher quality audio than just using these buds with any other smartphone. If you go into the app itself, go into sound and quality, and then go into advanced quality options, you'll notice that we have the ultra high quality UHQ audio. This is a codec that only is supported on Samsung devices, currently requiring 6.1.1 for One UI. The 6.0 did not have that. So if you ran this on, let's say, when the buds themselves were launched, they were only supporting this feature on the Z Fold 6 and the Z Flip 6. Earlier generation Samsung devices just got the update, so you should be able to use these on, of course, the S24 Ultra, other devices that run the latest version of One UI. And what we're talking about is the ability of matching some of the highest quality audio experiences that we're able to get even here. What we're seeing here is 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, and that's going to be exactly what the device can support. So you're going to be able to enjoy the tracks exactly as they were intended to be listened to. Now, this is one that we're listening to is from Norah Jones. I love Norah Jones and the fact that a lot of her tracks are actually very recorded in very high quality, and you're able to get them and listen to them on those experiences. So what I would say is my first feature that I really like about this is not only do they work great with any device that you're connecting them to, they work great on Samsung devices, giving you the ability of going to that next level audio quality. One of the other things that we're going to talk about here is next feature is going to be is translation. This was something that they actually announced at the beginning or when they first launched the buds, and I feel like a lot of people didn't get a chance to explain how do you actually get translation running on these. It's actually pretty straightforward. You go into the earbud controls, and it's pretty straightforward from the customizations. You can see here you have media controls. We have the ability of configuring the left, the right, basically the call controls, and of course earbud lighting controls, which we're going to talk about in a second. But if we go into the right one, you'll notice the first button here is a switch noise control. You're actually able to change the different experiences here, but one of the other one is the interpreter functionality. So on this one, pinch and hold the control here on the bud itself. So we notice here we're going to go on the right side, we're going to say pinch and hold, and we're going to change it to interpreter. Interpreter will do this functionality for us. So let's go ahead and put the buds inside. And now to initiate the interpreter, all I have to do is press and hold. And the first thing you'll notice is automatically it launches the interpreter application. It launches in split screen mode. What I like about it is it jumps in directly with the earbuds configured, and it'll start working. Now, this is the language that I last configured in here. So as an example would be here. Hi, how are you? Yo soy tan bien. ¿Cómo tú estás? It translates, it runs very well, and it works really, really good. So it's something that if you want to be able to configure, you don't actually always have to use the transition between noise cancellation and not. You also have the ability of customizing the digital assistant, mindfulness, of course, and it'll also launch Spotify on the go. So if you have Spotify installed on your device, pressing and holding the actual button itself will open up the application for you. For me, I don't actually have it, so unfortunately that one doesn't work. But actually, let's go back and change that, because that's what I usually do here. Let's get done, and we'll go there. One of the other things I really, really like about it is the fact that we have a lighting effect in here, which makes it very nice. You're able to customize it between fade in and fade out, blinking, and steady light on. And just be aware, obviously, it uses a little bit more battery, but from an aesthetic standpoint, this is a very unique experience, especially when it's a little bit darker than when you're outside. So I actually did test that out when I was at a game of one of my son's games, and it looked absolutely very nice and very easy, and you can customize it directly on the earbuds themselves. You just have to activate it with both earbuds outside of the case before you put them on, and the lighting effect will start. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is something, again, very unique and very nice, but directly within here is the ability of using voice controls without using a hot word, meaning I don't have to actually initiate the assistant. So if you go into the earbud settings under voice controls, you'll notice there's an option to turn on using Bixby, which is their default assistant. But the other option is the ability of using voice commands to be able to answer calls, hang up on calls when your hands are busy. I'm talking specifically to play music, stop music, next song, previous song, stop music. All of these was done directly on the device, directly without any kind of interference from me saying, either hi, whatever, something, activating any assistant. It works really nice. The commands are very simple. You're able to go further, but this makes it so much more functional, for especially when you were outdoors, and let's say you're walking in and your hands are busy. The next one was something that's going to be very unique to Samsung devices, and that's going to be because once you're using it with a Samsung device running the latest version of the software, you have the ability of customizing the experience when it comes down to video. So I'm going to go directly into the settings section, scroll down a little bit till you find the section where it says advanced video options. Under advanced video options, we have the ability of recording 360 audio using these buds. So if I activate this one, obviously it's going to turn off zoom in mic because that functionality kind of contradicts. When you go into that Pro video, you can actually customize the audio experience to go down, and you'll notice we have now 360 mic. And we'll see here that there's that one feature that says 360-degree mic, which provides the ability of recording a higher fidelity or different type of an experience of audio on Samsung devices. And one of my biggest standard tests is the ability of using the buds in a couple of different modes, but also having them last me for the entire flight from LA to New York. The buds themselves will be used in not only just listening to music, which these provide us a great audio experience, but also the ability of actually getting noise cancellation active, meaning I have them in my ear, not listening to music, but having them function to just reduce the entire ambient noise. A plane has a lot of humming on it, a lot of buzzing as you're going for an extended amount of time. And I find that to just be too much sometimes. I just want to be able to zone that out if I want to be able to take a little nap or something like that. And for me, these did not disappoint. On the way, all the way from LA to New York, they lasted the entire trip. Once we were landing in New York, the battery on the buds got down to about 3%. And that's when I realized it was pretty straightforward. I took them out, put them in the case. By the time I was in the cab, I had enough of a charge to carry me through to get to the hotel, which was about an hour and a half worth of a drive there. So it's not like a quick ride. So I enjoyed using the buds. Again, they worked great with the Z Fold 6. And I think now we should start talking about some of my favorite features of the Z Fold 6. Now, first and foremost, obviously it goes without saying, is my favorite feature is the fact that we have a dual display experience. Again, a bigger display on the inside, a smaller display on the outside. It is a little bit bigger. The device is a little bit lighter than what we got last year. So you do definitely feel that if you're going generation to generation. So from the 5 to the 6, it is absolutely noticeable. And there's a couple of options available, of course, directly from Samsung. Now there's the black one, and of course there's the blue one. I do want to say again, thank you very much to Samsung for sending us the blue one to be able to check out. The black one is on loan. We're carrying actually a phone and a tablet at the same time. That provides us a very unique form factor that most devices cannot do. On the flight from LA to New York, my seat did not have a display. There was no entertainment system for us to be able to use. So as you're seeing there in that little clip that I'm sharing with you guys, I actually propped it up, put it directly into the clips that they gave us, and I was able to enjoy a movie, I think it's called the Fall Guy movie, directly on this. Absolutely fantastic, using Bluetooth earbuds, again, as we're talking about here, and enjoying the content on a beautiful big display where everybody else was using just a standard candy bar style, 16:9 aspect ratio. Making it a bigger phone like this, enjoying the content the way we're supposed to, just takes it to the next level. And I think that's one of the biggest things in why we appreciate having foldables like these. So that's going to be one of my first features that I really love about this. The fact that we're actually able to use, again, the experience in small or bigger form factor. The next feature we're going to talk about is not necessarily so much the phone itself, but an accessory that Samsung's been carrying for the last couple of years when it comes down to their foldables. The Z Fold 5 and the Z Fold 6 both carry a very slim case with an S Pen included in it, which makes it so much functional. Not having to worry about carrying the pen, having a slim pen that works really nice, designed to work on the internal display, as we always know. And I was actually surprised, a couple of people on the flight on the way to New York were very surprised, not only that this foldable existed, but also they were wondering how come it actually even has a pen? And will Apple ever make something like this? And the reality of the matter is, Samsung is so far ahead of what Apple could potentially come in with even in this market, that I appreciate the fact that they've incorporated and they've thought about, if they can't put the S Pen in directly into the actual device, they can definitely make it so thin that it's actually no more higher than the actual camera bump on the top. So when you have the phone down, you have no wobble on this. It works great, it runs really good, and no need to charge it because it's passive. The next feature I'm going to talk to you guys about is something that is probably unique to Samsung devices, especially the flagship versions of their devices, is that Samsung carries a version of their software, or a feature in their software, called DeX. DeX is a software solution that provides us a desktop experience. Now, on their foldables, it works really nice because it also works directly on external displays. So I can connect this to, let's say, an external display, or I can use something like this. These are my Roku classes. They work really good, provide me a portable solution on a flight to be able to enjoy content from my device directly on the glasses. Now, what I like about them is they come with these shades here on the top, but you're also obviously able to use them directly without them. And this one just gives you more of a blackout experience. You connect them via USB-C directly into the bottom of the Samsung device here, USB-C to C, and this supports video out. The moment you connect it, Samsung DeX gets launched, and you're starting to be able to actually enjoy a laptop type of an experience with a touchpad directly on your device. Now, by far, the last thing I'll probably want to mention with you guys today is the level of customizations that we get within Samsung devices is definitely next level. There's a lot of foldables on the market. There's a lot of foldables that may even have better mechanisms and better technology put into them. But one of the biggest things I feel like Samsung has done so far the best is the ability of multitasking in a right format, or in a format that I feel like a lot of us appreciate. An example would be here. I can actually connect the actual app, put it in here. I can open up another app in here. So obviously this is now using another application. Let's go ahead and open up the music app. But one of the other things that I liked about this is, let's say I want to be able to open up a third application. I can also, one of the other things, by the way, I can swap them. I can configure them in here, move them up in a configuration, and of course, swap them again. Just provides us the experience that we want. And we can also jump into more of a pop-up window for the third application, which makes it so that I can actually go up here, and let's go ahead and open up the camera app on the right side. So now we are running 3 applications at the same time. This is something that, again, although may not be the most impressive thing, some people may not appreciate it as much, but the fact that you can run 3 apps at the same time, where most other foldables are still focusing mostly on just the split screen, gives us a little bit of an edge in here. The other thing that we also have here that we don't have any on any of foldables is the ability of using something called Good Lock. Now, Good Lock is an application that is designed by Samsung developers. It's designed to provide us extra functionalities, extra customizations. Fantastic. I can customize the pen on the device. Wonderland, I can create a custom theme based on a wallpaper. Lockstar gives me the ability of controlling my lock screen notification. Keystar, reprogramming my keyboard. Navstar for navigation buttons if you use them. Home Up allows me to actually change different customizations within the device. One of them is the ability of changing the Recents app in there. Clock Face, the ability of using Quick Start, Edge Lighting Plus, all the things that you normally would be able to configure, and even more with going with one-handed operation, which allows me to actually customize my experience in here. And this is something that you probably have noticed me using. I can actually swipe, I can do different customizations. And one of the nice things I get out of this is that you can actually do this on almost every Samsung device. But also, sometimes they also provide us some customizations, like I said, with Pentastic, directly working on their Z Fold series, which makes this, again, a very nice, customizable, very much future-proof experience when it comes down to a foldable and a pair of buds from Samsung. So my hope that I was able to share with you guys my insight, or at least my experience after using these for some time. And the biggest thing that I'll probably say is, these are not even all of the features in there. Those are the things that stood out to me over time. The functional options with the display, the pen, the sound quality that we get with the buds directly on the phone, the ability of leveraging the microphones on the actual buds themselves to use them as Bluetooth audio for my actual camera, and of course, or even go into 360 audio. Low latency gaming, great audio experience, high quality audio on them. All of these things are very unique, and if you're looking for a pair, I definitely think that these will work great. The buds will work great with the S24 Ultra, the Z Flip 6, again, any of the latest version of Samsung devices running the 6.1.1 version of their One UI software will get the ability of playing the audio at the highest quality. My hope is that you guys enjoyed this video and you found something helpful and maybe helped you make a decision if the Z Fold 6 or the Buds 3 Pro from Samsung are the right ones for you. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next one.